Welcome back, and we have more details tonight as to exactly how the Trump campaign squandered its $200 million cash advantage over Joe Biden. More specifically, what happened to just under $1 billion raised? According to the New York Times reporting, quote, among the splashiest and perhaps most questionable purchases was a pair of Super Bowl ads the campaign reserved for $11 million, according to Advertising Analytics, more than it has spent on TV in some top battleground states. It was a vanity splurge that allowed Mr. Trump to match the billionaire Mike Bloomberg's buy for the big game. Well, with us tonight, Shane Goldmacher, New York Times national reporter, who shares the byline on that report. And back with us, Andrea Bernstein. She's a Peabody Award-winning co-host of the podcast Trump Incorporated. I'll get through this. A joint production of ProPublica and New York's NPR station WNYC. She was last with us to talk about her book, conveniently titled American Oligarchs, the Kushners, the Trumps, and the Marriage of Money and Power. There it is. It's a lot. Welcome to you both. Shane, it's sometimes unfair to ask a journalist to look at their own work dispassionately, but I'd like you to do just that. What are some of the standouts if you're telling someone in the 60-second version what you uncovered about how this campaign has spent its money?
I mean, I think the first standout is that Donald Trump raised $1.1 billion with the Republican Party since the beginning of 2019, and nearly 33 cents of every dollar raised went to fundraising costs. So an enormous share of the money was just sunk into the act of raising the money. And at this point, really the story is, as you started, he began the general election period with close to a $200 million edge over Joe Biden. And the question that you and others had was, can Joe Biden raise enough money to compete, or could Donald Trump bury Joe Biden financially in this race? Now, by midsummer, it was clear that Joe Biden was competitive. And now we're entering the home stretch. And there are some Trump officials who are talking about concerns about a cash crunch and looking at getting dramatically outspent by Joe Biden. And so sort of this story was looking into, well, where exactly did the $800 million that the Trump campaign and the Republican National Committee spent go? And the answer is, that there are questions among a lot of Republicans as to where it went, because Donald Trump is behind in a key juncture in this race and looking at getting outspent on the airwaves almost for the duration going forward.
Andrea, President loves saying he's willing to drop hundreds of millions of dollars on his campaign, spend some of his personal fortune. Does he have that kind of money?
Well, according to his disclosures, he does not. His recent financial disclosure forms showed between $50 million and $150 million in assets. So there is a real question about how much money Donald Trump has. And he always has a lot of money when he wants it to look like he has a lot of money, and then not a lot of money when the tax assessors and whatnot come calling. He has a unitary business model. I mean, this reminds me of one of his casinos in Atlantic City went bust because regulators said he renovated it to appeal to high rollers when its market was middle class people. And that looks like what he's done with his campaign, that he has spent all of this money on things that most campaigns would not spend money on. And now in the home stretch, he's sort of looking around the couch cushions to make sure that he's got enough money to fund the remainder of the campaign. We shouldn't be surprised, because this is the way Donald Trump has run his business, with many, many failures. And then when he needs the money, he actually borrows it or asks banks or others to sweep in where he has failed.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.